welcome to my top 10 shoujosei romance manga pick for 2025 releases. My name is Hwin and I post everything romance manga related. As we all know, the end of 2024 is fast approaching and come with that is an unknown 2025. But one thing we do know is the amount of mangas that are being released in 2025. Particularly, there are so many new shoujosei, romance, slice of life manga that are coming out in 2025. It took me so long to figure out my top 10 picks for 2025, aka the manga that I'm most excited about for their releases, whether because I want to own them in physical or is because I'm genuinely intrigued about the plot, the story, the whole thing. And therefore this video is very personal. The reason why I like a series will be totally different to yours, and therefore I have put down below a link to my spreadsheet that I put together all the mangas that I know that are shoujosei, romance, slice of life that are coming out in 2025 that may be worth checking out. So if none of my picks are to your liking, then at least you can check out that list to see if there's anything you like for 2025. All release dates on the list are subject to change and all release dates are from Barnes & Noble website. Alright, without further ado, let's get started. Starting off with January, we have got a few releases coming out this month on the 14th, 21 and the 28th. None of these are on my top pick list for the year 2025. However, I want to shout out the two series that both coming out on the 14th. We have Firefly Wedding and Glasses with a Chance of Delinquent. Both of these shoujo series are very popular with domestic fan as well as international fan base. Firefly Wedding has now got about 2 million copies in circulation, whereas Glasses with a Chance of Delinquent initially ended in 2 volumes but now has continued up to volume 8 due to the popularity. Moving on, we got February. There's a bunch of new series coming out this month and it's going to be a huge month for me as well because 4 of my top picks are within this same month. Where my first pick is The Pet Shop of Horrors, released on the 4th of February in a beautiful collected edition by 7 Seas. I have never read anything from this author or have I read or know any spoil about the series. I genuinely so interested in this series because first of all it is known as a classic series, and secondly because of the premise is very intriguing to me. We have a curious pet shop became a suspect for a strange accident happening in town. That's the tagline. I like anything that relevant to supernatural, mystery and psychology, and the fact that this is being published by 7 Seas in a collected edition also make me want to collect it because I have got all the collected edition from 7 Seas before. One of them is Marmalade Boy and I was thoroughly pleasant with how good the physical copy came out in the end. As you can see here with the Marmalade Boy, we have the physical in a beautiful large trim size, we have the beautiful colored pages, the translation and everything seem to be very well looked after, and therefore I feel like it's worth the money that you put in to get a collector edition. Hence, Pet Shop of Horrors is my first pick for 2025. Moving on to the second week of release of February, this week have 3 of my top pick. The first one is Fall in Love You False Angels by Koko Uzuki, who is also the author of Hotere Hotere First Kid, released by 7 Seas this month, which is December 2024. This series is without doubt my most anticipated series and most excited for in 2025 for very personal reason. Firstly, I absolutely adore the art by this mangaka. I think her art is very well drawn, very well taken care of, very well articulated. Secondly, I have read her first anthology, which is the Hotere Hotere First Kid, and it was amazing. The storytelling, the panel arrangement, the way that she leads the audience through the different emotions level and stages was very well done for me. And thirdly, the premise of this series alone is so intriguing for me. In the series we got two top students who are both a two-faced angels experiencing their first unwanted heartthrob. And on top of that, this series also explores the female lead being the first one to fall in love. I absolutely adore this series. As you can see from this little corner in my bookshelf, it is not completely decorated yet, but you can see I have so many goodies of this couple. I have got different editions of the series. I got volume 4 of this series in Japanese coming as well. I am just absolutely adored. This is one of my most adored series and I cannot wait for it to come in 2025. The next series I want to talk about is the Otaku Love Connection by Square Enix, only up to 3 volumes, and it is ongoing. From what it sounds like, we're gonna have 2 different couples in this series. One is a high school gorgeous power couple, and the second one are the otaku that happen to match together because they both stand the power couple at the school. Being someone who always adore power couple in my own high school or my own university, I am so excited to see how this whole thing gonna play out. I expected comedy. I'm expecting these 4 characters gonna come together and have really heartfelt moments. So I'm very excited, cannot wait. My 4th top pick of this year has to be Choking on Love by the same author of Living Room Matsunaga-san. This series surrounding a career-focused artist and the bad boy guitarist who turns her world upside down. I first exposed to this series because of the super cool pose that they have on one of the dessert magazine back in 2023, I believe. This is what the cover looked like. It was looking so cool, the punk rock influence of the art. I was absolutely adoring it. And then I got myself a Japanese copy of the first book. Can I read Japanese? Absolutely not. But does the picture talk to me? Yes, absolutely. There's so many scenes in this series that just provoke my emotions without even doing much or without even me understanding what is happening. One of the panels that got me really kicking my feet is scenes where the male lead tried to give the female lead his phone number. So many ways that one can give the other number, but in this case, it is so on theme where the male lead just wrote to the female lead a guitar pick with his phone number on it. I am absolutely adore that. Maybe that because I'm also playing guitar, and for me, guitar pick has always just been to be used to play the guitar, and now I see a different new way for it to be practical. I just absolutely adore that concept. Honorable mention for February, on the 25th, we got It Takes More Than a Brief Phase to Fall in Love. This is also one of the series I would highly recommend you check out. And I am excited to read it because all the covers of this series are so gorgeous. They're also absolutely amazing. Therefore, I think it is worth it as a collector piece to have in your collection. Next comes the month of March. March also another exciting month for me because 3 of my topics also in this single month. The first one is Assassin and Cinderella. This is a shoujosei ecchi series, which means they're gonna be quite a few provoking images. The reason why I picked this one is honestly probably just a personal favorite, a guilty pleasure reading. It is not mature rated. It is, like I said, it's an ecchi series, or I don't know, maybe it will turn mature rated later. But so far, with what I have read online of this series, I really enjoy the woofiness and the aloofness of this series. There's a serious moment, but they're also really cute, silly, adorable moment. I like both the female and the male leads, and therefore I'm excited to see this series come in physical. Next pick is Veil by Kodori. It is a shoujosei European inspired slice of life, and I believe it's a full color. This series have got lots of praises for its beautiful, gorgeous art. I haven't read it, but I heard it's also a really heartwarming story as well. And if you're also a manga collector like me and a little bit of convincing, the cover of volume 1 and volume 2 are actually connecting covers, so if you put the 2 together, they're actually creating a much bigger picture. And I love that so much because not many series out there are doing this. The second thing about this series is that each of the volume is described using a different color. For example, volume 1, I believe it The Temperature of Orange, and then volume 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 each has a different color as shown on the screen. Apologies, this is incorrect, I will update it later, but this is published by Udon Entertainment, and their physical print has been really good quality, and so I have high hope for this physical print as well. My next pick of March has to be the Ayakashi Hunter's Tainted Bride. This is actually a shonen series, but it's focusing on romance, fantasy and historical aspect. It's following a cursed girl isolated by those around her, and then there's a demon hunter who falls for her. I believe this is published by Kodansha, not Yen Press. I might have copy paste and forget to edit it, but I will make sure this gets edited when the video is up and everything. The art is really drawn to me, and the second, I love things relevant to ayakashi, demon hunter, all of those sorts, so I'm very looking forward to this series. And it's obviously I got the name here wrong as well, very sorry about that. Next we have April. This is probably a safe month for me. There's many releases, but none of these are on my topics yet. However, I want to shout out to two different series that I think is worth checking out. The first series is Tamaki and Amane. This is a one-shot and is surrounding family, romance, friendship, and different kind of romances in our life. This is also done by the author of What Did You Eat Yesterday and Oku. Both are very highly regarded series, so I also have high hope for this one. The second series I want to shout out for is a one-shot by Kodansha, A Vampire in the Bathhouse. I just thought this seems like a very woofy series, and therefore could be a really good laugh, could be a good light-hearted series to wind down after a busy day at work or study. We have now arrived to May, which include two of my next topics of 2025. The number 8 topic of 2025 for me is No Angel by Viz Media, published in May 13. This is a shoujo series I had never heard before. However, the art captivated me at first sight, and then reading the plot also got me intrigued further. The series follows our female lead who struggle with depression and have an unexpected reunion with her childhood friend who happen to give her the push that she needs to continue living and to do what she needs. It seems like a very heartwarming story, and therefore I am excited for it releases in May 2025. On the last week of May, we have Kindergarten War, published by Yen Press, is my number 9 pick for 2025. This is a shonen, action, drama, comedy and romance series. It's following a former legendary assassin who now has to work as a kindergarten for the children of the world leaders. This series has got so many praises, and I heard so many good things about it, and I love that it is both a comedy action series but also have a good romance plot to it. So I'm very excited for it. I have seen the confession panels for this series, and that is another thing that got me intrigued. If you want to, you can check it out yourself. I don't want to spoil it on the screen, but it was one of the most hilarious confession scenarios that I have seen. We now arrive to June. As of speaking time, there's only 2 series that I know that are coming out in June, but I believe that as the year goes on, more licenses will be released and there will be more titles that we're checking out during this time as well. But with that, we have now arrived to my last and final pick of the year, which will be released September next year. We have The Bride of the Dead God, a series by Square Enix, and it's gonna be released on the September 9th. This is a shoujo supernatural drama romance, and it is featuring a Reaper. I know it doesn't take much for me to be intrigued, but the fact that it is focusing on a relationship between a Reaper and a mortal girl alone already has me intrigued. And so I cannot wait until September, which is like ages away, but really looking forward to this release. And with that, that is all my topic for 2025. I'm really keen to hear what are your topics for 2025. What are on this list that I should have mentioned or I should have paid more attention to, because I'm always so interested for more recommendation and to hear what your opinions, what your thoughts are on different series, particularly series on this list. But that's enough yapping. Thank you so much for listening to my list. Thank you so much for the year. I hope you had a great Christmas. Have a lovely weekend, and I will see you next year. Bye bye.